I'm like, do we need B-roll? Mic check?
Welcome. We are doing a video today. So my name is Samantha, and this is Audrey.
Hi.
And Audrey taught me this leadership square, and I loved it. So I asked her if she would do a video with me so that we could share this with our friends, with our business partners, with anyone that needs to understand how to take someone along a path as a leader and as a follower. Because a good follower can be a good leader, but if you're not a good follower, then you're not a great leader.
Yeah, every leader is a follower at one point and really at every point, because the beauty of the leadership square, you'll see as we go through it, there's 4 points of that leadership and discipleship, if you will, square. And so everyone at some point is a learner or a follower, right? No matter what it is. I may be a really great ace at crocheting blankets, right? And you don't know how to do it. So maybe you're an ace at running your doTERRA business and I don't know how to do that, but I'm an ace at crocheting. So you would be the leader in doTERRA and I would be the leader in crocheting, and vice versa. You would be the learner and I would be the learner. So yeah, here we go.
Here we go. So yeah, take it away, Audrey. I've got lots of commentary, but you're the pro on this and I love it.
Okay, yeah. So basically, the leadership square, I think we were going to show a couple of slides we have for you all. The beauty of the leadership square is it is super duper easy. You can teach it to your kids and it's transferable. You can use it in every area of your life. So whether you're using this in your work life, if you're using this in your home with your kids, or however you want to, you are able to use this anywhere and everywhere. And so basically there are 4 stages of the leadership square. Wherever there is a leader, there's also a disciple, or you could even call them the learner, the leader and the learner. And so basically in these 4 parts of the square, there is L1, D1, which is leadership 1, disciple 1. And then there's going to be in stage 2, there's L2, D2. Stage 3, there'll be L3, D3. And then stage 4 will be L4, D4. And I think we have a slide that has the D's in there. That sounds kind of weird, but so yeah, if you can see here, there's D1, L1, D1, L2, D2, L3, D3, and L4, D4. And so what is the whole point of this? So basically, whenever we enter learning something new, there's normally someone who's going to be leading us. And there's a couple of things that are happening in each one of those areas with the leader and also with the learner, the disciple. So in L1, D1, Samantha, what are we going to be doing as the leader in L1, D1?
I caveman.
Yes, you caveman.
The caveman speak. I do, you watch.
Yes. So as the leader, you are going to be doing everything, and the learner or the disciple is going to be watching only. That's all they're going to be doing with their all eyes, just watching what you're doing. Yes, definitely. They're learning a whole bunch in that stage. So you can even think about this from, back in the day when you had your math teacher who got up on the board and they were doing those equations first before you ever did anything, right? They had to teach you how to do it first. So this is also a stage equally where we are unconsciously incompetent as the learner. What does that mean? That means that we have no idea that we don't know what to do or how to do it. But we are equally really excited in this stage. So it makes me or reminds me of when Samantha shared doTERRA with me and me being super excited about those oils and just experiencing them myself and then seeing the results of that and being like, oh my God, I just want to share this with everyone because I'm so excited about it. Like all of a sudden we become an evangelist and we want to share it with the world. And so equally, this leadership square refers to and is based on the way that Jesus led. And so if we go back into the word, basically we think about when Jesus would invite people into discipleship, and he very much invited people into discipleship. He basically just said, come, follow me, right? And that's an indicator that I'm inviting you to see something. I'm inviting you to come with me so I can show you something. So he's going to go do something and the disciples are going to watch, right? Make sense?
I got it. Love it.
Okay, so then in L2, if we go into the next stage, remember we're really enthusiastic and excited in that first stage. You want to tell your mama, your granny, all your friends about the oils. You just cannot get enough of them on your own, and you've got to share it with the world. Well, now we go into L2, D2. And this is the most critical stage of the leadership square. And the reason why is because this is where we begin to realize that we are consciously incompetent. So what does that mean? That means that this slide is actually wrong. It's incompetent.
Oh, yeah.
So consciously, they did a bad job on this one. So consciously incompetent. What does that mean? That means that all of a sudden you realize that you don't know what you're doing. And that's why it's really important for the leader in this stage to be still doing the work, but then we're helping them do the work. So
I do. You help.
that's right. And so I think we have some examples for doTERRA specifically. What does that look like, Samantha, when we're in stage 2 in terms of, a class or enrolling?
So yeah, I'm doing the class.
Mhm.
You're helping with the class. So not just sitting on the sideline taking notes anymore. You're a part of that. We've discussed that beforehand. So we're both on the same page of what those roles would be for the class part. Yeah.
Yeah, and equally, you're going to be enrolling, but I'm going to be helping you enroll. So we're enrolling people on my team, but now you're helping me do this. And we are literally in L2, D2 right now between Samantha and I. I'm newer to doTERRA. And so she is the veteran here. I'm the rookie. She's the leader. I'm the disciple. And so there's a lot of her doing and me helping right now in this particular stage. And the thing that's important about this stage as well for the leader is that this is when the disciple is going to require the most coaching. This is where, as the leader, we have to be the most patient. It's like when you go to a job and you are being trained on the job. There's a long period where you're being trained before you're sent off to do things on your own. And I think we had an example earlier too. It's like when we first started teaching our kids how to do chores, or when you learned how to do chores, right? Like Jimmy and Janet, little Jimmy, is with his mama Janet, and she wants Jimmy to start having some responsibility around the house. So she says, okay, well, Jimmy, and L1D1, hey, listen, I'm going to do the dishes today. You're going to grab your stool. You're going to stand up on that stool, and you're going to watch me how to do dishes. You're going to watch me fill up the sink, put the soap in, scrub the dishes, rinse them, and dry them, right? And then by the time we get into L2, D2 with little Jimmy and Mama Janet, now she's saying, okay, so I'm still going to be doing the majority of the work, but you're going to be helping. Maybe this time you get to fill up the sink and you get to put the soap in, and mommy washes, and then maybe you rinse, right?
Yep.
So now we transition into L2, D3.
Yep.
And this stage goes pretty quickly. And so here it's basically we are now unconsciously competent, right? It's what's the caveman?
You do. I help.
That's right. So now I'm doing the work as the learner, and Samantha is helping me as the leader. So what does that look like in doTERRA in terms of like a class or enrolling or strategizing?
It kind of looks almost just like 2, where we're just reversing those roles.
Mhm.
So I might be taking some notes to give you some private
Feedback.
correction, public praise, and maybe fill in those gaps. So publicly I might say, oh yeah, and we'll play back and forth. So you would say, hey, did I miss anything? And that, oh, you did a great job, but we could talk about this too. And then you're like, oh yeah, and either you take over, or you would say, why don't you go ahead and take the lead on that? And then I would finish that. But she's still, the main one that everyone is looking to as the authority on the subject.
Yeah.
So I'm not
absolutely.
overshadowing you, which you're never intending to overshadow in any of these other categories either, but there becomes that transition.
That's right. And in terms of strategy, I think that's a big deal too, because I may be, enrolling people and getting them signed up and all of that, but I still need help on strategizing, like where to put them in my downline, right?
Mhm.
So that is a huge factor right there. And just know that in L2, when we're trying to transition from L2 to L3, this is where a lot of people fall off. They drop off because they feel disempowered. They realize that they don't know what they're doing. The enthusiasm has worn off. So we've got to coach them. They need an immense amount of encouragement in that L2 again. So we want to be pointing out the things that they are doing right. So Jimmy, you did a wonderful job filling up the sink, and mommy washed those dishes, but you know what? I noticed you left some soap on the plate. We don't want to get diarrhea, Jimmy. Is there an oil for that?
Just then.
Okay. So we don't want to we don't want to get that up. We need to make sure that we're doing this correctly, but you did a great job in these other areas. And Samantha's great at that, pointing out, like, you know what you're doing. You did a great job here. You're going to keep learning. You're smart. You've got this. And so it's a cheerleader phase.
And we might repeat, like we might be in one, and then we might repeat two or three times, and then number three or three times.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're that's something we didn't talk about earlier today. Is a little bit more was the pit. So the pit happens between 2 and 3, not only for the disciple, but also the leader. The leader doesn't have that confidence and the stick through with the person. This is something that Audrey and I have talked a lot about, that I've struggled having certain friends or business partners because they give up on me. They don't understand that I need a little bit more of my hand being held, which is a little more help in 2 and 3. But then once I get that repetition in 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, by the time I'm in 4, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over and over. But most people won't do that repetition with me. So those that do, they get me for life.
Yeah, and I can definitely attest to that too, about you and that commitment, that level of commitment. But equally, I resonate with that, and that's, Lauren, to share that. For me, business is never a sprint. It's always a marathon. And a lot of people in business don't understand that. They want success overnight. And let me tell you something, most businesses that are really successful, go look at them at the 10-year mark, and you're blown away what they can do in 10 years. So this is not a sprint. It is a marathon. It takes time. Be patient, but arm yourself with that education and surround yourself with great leaders, and you're going to do a great job. And equally, the leaders are surrounding themselves with those great leaders too, right? And those leaders, and so on and so forth. And so going back to the word, if we're traveling with Jesus here, he was inviting them into this opportunity. Come and follow me, right? I'll show you. Just come. I'll do it. You watch. And then so when we get into that too, he's saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go perform miracles, and you're going to help along the way. That's what you're going to do. And then we get into 3, and he's saying, okay, you have the power to perform miracles, and I can help. I can still be pouring into you, and so on and so forth. And Samantha, I think you mentioned, by the time we go into L4D4, right, we're thinking in terms of Jesus. We don't want the leader to leave us, right? The disciples didn't want Jesus to go away from them. And so luckily our leaders in doTERRA don't go away. They're not going anywhere. And Jesus didn't go away either. And he also left us the manual. It's called the New Testament. So we can always refer to that manual, and he's with us all the time.
And they probably felt like he did leave them. And I think that a lot of people that have this kind of organization that we have, they think that their upline is going to leave them, and they shouldn't be afraid of that, because if their upline did leave them, they've been equipped with everything that they need. But when they do leave, they can still continue in that path. But like you said, they're always still there. So it might look different years down the road, and it should, because we shouldn't be that reliant. We should be interdependent, not codependent. So
absolutely. And so by the time we get into L4D4, this is you do and I watch. And if we're talking in terms of Jesus, I mean, he's watching from heaven, that's for sure, right? He has empowered us with the Holy Spirit. We have everything that we need, all of our spiritual gifts. He has left us the manual, right? There's everything is duplicatable in doTERRA.
It's the New Testament.
It's the New Testament, right? So everything is there in that manual. We can do this, even in terms of our specific team and building all of this automation. It's there. The template is there to make this, work for us, this business work for us, instead of us consistently trading all of our time for money. So here we are consciously competent by the time we get to L4. We are celebrating because we are duplicatable at this stage, and we know that we know what we're doing, right?
Yeah, and that always definitely feels good. And at the same time, even when you reach that knowing what you know, if you're continually learning and continuing to grow, you're going to realize that you don't know anything right all over again. And so that starts all over again too. That's the humility that comes with what we do. That's the balance that we have in life. And that's a beautiful thing. We should be thankful that we don't know everything, because then what's the point?
Well, then we wouldn't need Jesus or the New Testament, but yeah, it's really beautiful. There's always going to be a new oil and a new product, right? And so we're always going to be learning that. How can we use that? How do we best use it? And so there's always something new that we're learning. But I just want everyone to know that this is super duper easy to learn. If you just had the steps here, 1, 2, 3, 4, with the I do, you watch, I do, you help, you do, I help, you do, I watch, this will really help you. And it is transferable. You can apply this into any area of your life. And just know that if you're in stage 2, everyone's in stage 2 somewhere in their life, right? So just be encouraged, keep learning, asking your leader for more help, whether your leader is a silent leader like John Maxwell was, so I call them silent mentors. They don't know they're my mentor, but they're my mentor, right?
Yeah.
So they're speaking very loudly, but they just don't know that they're my mentor.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I lost my train of thought there.
Well, no, that's good because that Jesus is our mentor. We've never met him face to face.
Yeah.
A lot of people that do that watch The Secret or gosh, now everything just went out of my head. Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey. A lot of people have these leaders that they don't even know that they're leading them, and that's why you have this piece here that we didn't talk too much about. This is my favorite part. So celebration was something that I was missing from my life for a long time. Like I'm an action taker, so I never realized that if we don't celebrate at some point along the way, then we're just a workhorse.
Yeah.
Which I am okay being a busy bee workhorse too, but other people need that celebration, and it does feel better.
Well, then we're never living in the moment. We're always living for the next goal and not the current goal. And so, yeah, celebration is really key in that L4D4. We've got to celebrate that we made it there. And these are when people became partners in the ministry with Jesus. So once your learners or your disciples reach that stage, now they can become partners with you in that ministry, if it was a ministry for you. So that's really key.
Yeah. Did you have another piece on the pit? So between level or section 2 and 3, that's where people fall in the pit, and when they do, that's when they fall off usually altogether.
They disappear, they run, they hide. You're emailing them, they're not emailing you back. You're texting them, they're not texting you back, because they just feel disempowered, really is the best word for that. They know that they don't know. They were really excited and maybe they loved the product and they loved the business, but when people feel like they don't know what they're doing, they don't feel confident. And so it's hard for us to proceed in anything in life if we don't feel confident. And that's really, really, really key to empower people. And that's what doTERRA is all about, is empowerment. So that is something that should be super, super key in whatever business model you have, is really focusing on your people when they're in that L2 category.
And then if people do fall in the pit, maybe you figure out how to get them out. Maybe they weren't meant to be on your team or the timing was wrong. So don't beat yourself up, but just know that is, again, where you need to be the most cautious and watch out for one another. And that's why we have other support. So we're never the only leader. We're never the only disciple. So sometimes we've got chunks of people coming through together, and that's really where the fun of it is. So we don't have any fancy video stuff that says follow us here, but we'll just verbally say it. We're on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So you'll be able to find us, Samantha Sargent, Audrey May Prosper. All of our Facebook stuff is linked. Our LinkedIn is linked. I don't have Twitter.
I do have a Twitter, and I really thought that Twitter was going to be my platform because I love just like random thoughts, but I couldn't even keep up with my own random thoughts.
It was like, when did I say that?
It was too hard to keep up with for me. But yeah, Instagram, Facebook for sure. I want to get on TikTok at some point. I feel like I'm not cool enough to get on TikTok.
You could sing. Can you sing yourself, or you just have to dance? Or like,
I don't really hear. It's always someone else's music that's playing on TikTok, and I can dance. I mean, I used to be in a dance group when I was in elementary school.
Like break dance?
No, it was me and this other girl. We were called the Baby Girls, and yeah, you said all like it was really cute, but we were like, yeah, we won't go there.
You were way too old.
We were really having a good time at the skating rink, thinking that we were, just amazing dancers. But
there were no video phones back then, so you're good.
No, there's no proof of that. But I can't say it would be embarrassing. It would probably just give me more credibility. Give me more street cred with the dance skills.
Well, cool. That is some great info. People can ask questions, and we'll be looking at these pretty often to see what is up.
Okay.
So my email address is oilseducation@gmail.com.
Yeah, I'm Audrey May at yourthrivetribe.com. I just want to say thanks for sharing time with us and learning how to lead and how to learn at the same time. It is a process, and there's more where this came from. So you'll see us again at some point.
Everything we do duplicates into anything in your life, not just this, but everything that we share can be used for any business at any part of your life, because your business and your life should be balanced. That's what we aim for. All right.
So we need to sign off. What's going to be our
I
sign?
know.
We're not Mutt and Jeff. We need 2 nicknames, and we need to sign off. Maybe they can suggest our nicknames, but we can be Sam and Odd. Sam and Odd. Sam and Odd.
Odd. Salmon.
Oh, I like that one. Salmon. Okay, salmon. And what sounds good for like?
No, you're odd.
No, but then salmon and odd. Odd salmon. Odd salmon. Odd and salmon. Okay, well, we need to sign off. Like I always say, like love and light, or what are we gonna say?
I can say love and light, and I'll say Samantha Rex.
Samantha Rex. Okay, that's cool. All right. Well, God bless. Be empowered. Bye.
Amen. The end.